Dude, I can't believe that Akirazi just.
Yeah, he's a bear, man.
We'll just do this. All right, so we are actually live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Weekly Chobo, episode number 4. Um, yeah, let's talk about the mistakes that Core Muscles made today. As you can easily see, I didn't update Guns and Roaches in the background graphics, so I just have the very lame Vortex Esports in white covering it. Sorry, guys, no offense to you there.
God damn it.
One of my initial guests, Akarazi, was a no-show, but we were able to get Heat in here. So we're going to have Heat, the captain of Vortex Esports for the CTL, and Heat from Vortex Vortex
Oh, you
Esports.
said heat 2 times, didn't you?
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, Hanty
Yeah.
Pen.
Okay.
Hanty
Yeah.
Pen, the captain, and Heat.
And not Panty Hand.
Yeah, well, somebody wrote it wrong the first time, so that's why I got that wrong.
All right. That's
So we
cool.
have Heat and Hanty Pen, and they're going to be chilling by. But as you can see by this very lame introduction, Vaizan Kai is not currently with us. He had a dinner date. So, hey, here's hoping he doesn't get to, close the deal so that we can get him on the call fairly soon. Unless his dinner date is like with family, in which case we don't want to talk about that. So,
we still don't want him to close the deal
well, yeah, sure.
if it's with his family.
So we're just going to skip over the introductions and the Week 2 recap by Vaizan until he can show up. And we're just going to jump right into talking to Vortex Esports. And so can you guys just introduce yourself a little bit, league, race, and how you got involved with Chobo Team League?
Yeah,
Go
sure,
ahead,
man.
Andy.
I'm Hanty Pen. I'm a Norwegian diamond Terran. And I found Chobo Team League by Googling for team leagues, actually, for my clan, as I was the leader of Vortex, which is a clan from before Chobo Team League. So I just came over it, and a new season was about to start, so I just signed up.
Awesome. And how about you, Heat?
Yeah, I'm a French Canadian Protoss player, Platinum, and I was just browsing on Team Liquid, and at some point, like maybe like 2 years later, because I would have wanted to find this league earlier, but I ended up finding it on a thread and immediately jumped on ship. Yeah, that's about it.
And this is, if I'm correct here, this is both of you your first seasons in CTL, correct?
Yeah.
That's correct, yeah.
So, what can you tell me about Vortex Esports? Hanty Pen, you said that it was a group you were running or something like that. So, can you tell us a little bit about it? Is it more than just StarCraft? Is it
Yeah, sure. It's actually a multi-gaming clan based in the UK, but it has a lot of European players in general. It has all kinds of games and a ton of members. So I'm the leader of the StarCraft division over there, and I've been with Vortex for about 6 months now. So, and I really like it. It's an awesome plan, and I like it. It's multi-gaming, so that if I want to play something else than StarCraft, God forbid someday, then I actually can play with other awesome people. Just to change my TeamSpeak channel, and there's like a bunch of awesome guys to play with. So it's a really cool place to be.
Yeah, I know that's one thing. Me being a part of Team Composite, we all started in CTL, and we were just kind of, we were all free agents, and we got placed onto the expansion team back in season 2 or 3, whichever one it was. And we've actually branched out ourselves. We don't really have like a website or anything formal other than the Chobo Team League website, but a bunch of us play other games together. I know a lot of them play Dota 2 and League, and there's a Minecraft city going, so it's a lot of fun. And
Okay, but it did start with Composite in the CTL, right?
Correct. Yeah, Composite started in the CTL. So Vortex kind of started of its own volition.
Yeah,
it
it's been
seems to be like. Oh, go ahead.
I think it's been from since 2007, 2008. So it's been around for a long time.
Hey, by the way, if you wanna, anybody in the chat wants to come on. I don't know if if it's doable, but could be cool.
We probably could get one or two people if they were interested and they had me on Skype and I could get them in here. But hopefully Vizon will get in here soon. And what about you, Heat?
Oh God, I saw Desro in the chat. They're talking about my accent, which is,
Yeah, they're
I
saying
guess, yeah, it has to sound like Desro,
you're a Desro clone.
but that's possible. Yes, of course.
So what about you, Heat? Did you join Vortex and then find Chobo, or did you find Chobo Team League and then get
Yeah, to
sucked
be
into
honest,
Vortex?
oh, nice one there. I'm not even in Vortex. In the clan itself, I was a free agent, and yeah, I was just shopping for a team, I guess, and I mainly wanted to help a small team. Like I was very hyped for this, and I knew that I would be active and stuff. So I wanted to find a small team in which like I would have a role to play. Because I mean, if you join Unrivaled, like you could be in the winning team, although they're 0-2 right now. It's just, but like you're not gonna have playtime guaranteed. So
They
I joined a
are
smaller team just for this reason.
Unrivaled is a huge team.
Yeah, they're huge. Yeah,
They have a ton of people. So is Composite really, but Composite has a smaller group of people who are really active. So speaking of the Chobo Team League, how's it going for you guys so far? Brand new team, first season in the league. 2 weeks in, how is week 1 and week 2 treating you?
It's been awesome, actually. We're up 2-0, which is, of course, super awesome. And I really like the players I've gotten through the free agents. And, of course, I had like the core of players with me from before, from like the old Vortex division. And everything has been going really smooth, and we're just having a lot of fun.
yeah, having results too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Uh, Especially we didn't do the recap, but we did kill Guns and Roaches. Was a very close one, but that's pretty nice.
Yeah, and I just popped up on the screen the standings. I wanted to show those, and you guys currently sitting in 4th place.
Yeah, we're a dangerous team, but
Very, yeah, especially for a brand new team. You and Team Bearslaws are really two teams that we probably have to look out for with 2-0 to start brand new season. So
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
and
just
we're playing
afraid.
them this
Go
week,
ahead.
actually. So Team Bear Slots is probably going to be 2-1 after this week. Just saying.
Yeah, of
shots
course.
shots fired.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I'm a bit afraid that we're a small roster, and just because of that, the same players are gonna go out each week. So maybe like it's gonna be a little easier to figure us out, I guess. Do you worry about that, Antiban?
Nah, I'm not worried, really. I think our players are so good, so it
Yeah,
shouldn't
we're so
be that
good.
big of a problem. It's not like we're using one build for the same matchup every time. We can mix it up. So
Yeah, yeah. You can do all kinds of proxy to racks, Antiban.
yeah, I won't do that again. Promise.
Awesome.
So what was I had a question and I can't say. So yeah, but being a smaller team and having people play over and over again, I would actually put that as a benefit to your team because that way your players can they have to stay active, they have to practice, their skills are
Yeah,
going to be on point. The only downside is if your players practice so much and they start getting promoted, then you might have a problem.
yeah, that
Yeah,
could be a problem. Yes, but
definitely.
like
We've had a
I'm
few promotions already, but we'll just we'll just have to keep on recruiting in the lower leagues if people get promoted.
Yeah, just as you're playing in the ladder, just sit there and tell everyone to join the league, tell everyone to join the team, make team liquid threads, Reddit threads, whatever needs to happen.
Yeah, and I've
how's ladder
noticed that.
going? Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, there's always free agents coming in. I'm looking at that page like quite often, and there's always a couple of new guys. So there's a couple of guys to pick from if people get promoted. I'm not too worried about that.
There's always new people coming into the league, and new people. Yeah, so there's always yeah, it's very interesting. It's within the league how people can always join the league. We don't force additions to be during the season or during the off season,
Yeah. That's cool.
so that you can add people whenever you want. I think the only rule is they're supposed to have played like 1 or 2 weeks during the season if they're going to play in the playoffs. But even that rule, I think, has been uh, relaxed a little bit to avoid walkovers.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I have a question for Antipan? If I can do the interviewer for a second?
Of course.
Yeah. So, Antipan, like, what kind of player are you looking for? Like, if you look at the threads popping up, or like the free agents, like, are you looking for a specific type of guy or player?
Well, I will take on anybody who is active, who is like willing to participate in team practices. Just create hype around this. And if I had to be specific, I would say I'm looking for gold players
Okay.
because I don't have any gold players.
Well,
I have
the
like
word is out.
Yeah, I have 4 gold players and 3 of them are really close to promotion. So
Ooh.
yeah,
And here I am, a silver player that has to play in the gold matchups because of my platinum finish a couple seasons ago.
Ooh,
so
that's a good rule though, because even if you're silver, I'm sure that, like, if you have that platinum knowledge,
Yeah, I
you,
can I can crush. There's some silvers that I just when I ladder I just absolutely dominate, and I'm just like, okay, why am I
yeah,
silver?
pretty sure about that. Do you ladder these days?
I don't ladder anywhere near as much as I did before, and when I was platinum, I made platinum both as a Protoss specifically and as random, but that was back when I cheese 95% of my games. I am a very well known cheeser, and I've been trying to change my ways to incorporate more standard play. So
Why do you do that, Core Muscle?
I just want to have fun. I play
Okay.
the game to have fun.
Yeah.
That's my number one goal out of StarCraft is to have fun. And a lot of people in Chobo Team League can tell you that if you play a team game with me, I'm gonna do some of the stupidest shit you have ever seen. Like
Okay.
it's
yeah, but
just it's just all about fun for me.
yeah, and team games in general though is all about fun. We have a lot of team games in Vortex, and we always just stick around. It's a lot of fun.
I mean, there's been team games I've played where we do regular ranked ladder, but then we change it into a mono battle for us, where we'll all just announce what
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
we just all will all announce to the opponent. We're only gonna make this unit, and then we win with only that unit.
Shout out to Day9, by the way. He kind of got me into StarCraft. I don't know about you, but it all started with Day9 Daily 100, and yeah, from then on, never stopped.
A lot of people
Yeah.
watched that one and
yeah.
got into esports. It's a touching video.
Yeah,
So
it's awesome.
in Vortex, in your Chobo Team League players, are there any uh, players to watch? Like any of the players specifically on your team that could really be a force in the league they're in?
Well, yeah, of course we have Heat
Oh,
to
thank
start there.
you.
Yeah, but if you're looking at the spreadsheet that came up, the ELO rankings, Heat is actually topping that in the platinum, and he is gone 2-0 in 2 weeks. So we're resting him this week, but yeah, he's looking really strong. And in gold league we have Applejack, who's also 2-0, and he's playing this week because I have to play my gold players all the time. But he's also super strong. And Chansey started off in silver, won his game, but now he's gold. So I'll see how he does when he gets up there. But yeah, we have a lot of strong players in overall, and our ace player he didn't get to play last week because he got a walkover. But Ascaria, He's a really strong diamond Protoss. He's been Masters a couple of times. So I have really high hopes for him. So
Excellent.
I hope those
Yeah,
are going to carry us.
Well, they've been carrying you so far. It sucks that your ace match had to get a walkover. Hopefully, whoever he was playing can straighten out his stuff.
Yeah,
yeah,
he
and
was actually the captain, Guns N' Roses. So that's kind of lame. But thing happens. Can't can't be mad about it.
Things happen, life happens. This is an amateur league, so you
Yeah.
know sometimes you have to put life first. I mean, look at Vizon Kai. He's a perfect example. He's putting life in front of the weekly
Yeah.
Chobo and
yeah, a date is kind of a good reason, I
not
guess.
showing up.
And I have to mention Subsec, um, who's a platinum player on our team, and I feel that like he has like good strengths. So he's like he has awesome macro and stuff. He lost his first match, but he had like more supply, more workers than the Zerg, but just had bad engages. But all in all, I think Subsec is really good. You could watch out for him, and also um, that plasma guy. He's dangerous. Like
Yeah, he's very very dangerous.
he's a Polish beast. So you watch out for that Zerg. Yeah, yeah.
Also, we had a new guy who just joined our team, Ronixi. He's
Oh,
playing in
Ronixie.
his high platinum, and he can play all races high platinum. And yeah, he's our Stefano. Uh, he's such swag. He's an awesome guy, and yeah, I'm,
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to getting him to play some games, and I think he's gonna go show some really good games. He has some awesome strategies, and it's not inside the box. He thinks outside the box sometimes and shows some really good games.
yeah.
Excellent. So you guys sound like you're more than ready for week 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So are you gunning for that top spot? You hoping that Team Composite takes down CT6 to give you guys a chance at that
Yeah,
Oh,
of
why
course that
not?
would be
Why not?
nice, but
3?
we're gonna end in top at the end either way, so it doesn't matter for us. We're gonna win all our games, and then yeah,
Yeah, we need to make the playoffs first, and then maybe prepare for said playoff, like to because even if you finish first or second, like this is not clear. Like I heard on the Chobo weekly Chobo previously that all 12 teams were making the playoffs. Is that true or is that not true?
So that's going to be a good question for our admins because on one of the weekly show, on the first one when we had the admins on, they said that
Yeah,
since we have an even number 12 this year, we are going to have everybody in the playoffs and either the top 2 or top 4 teams were going to get buys or something like that. But
yeah,
then when the standings came out, only the top 6 teams had their
yeah,
numbers colored in. So yeah, that's I'm not really sure. Being that this is an amateur and a for fun league, I would assume that all the teams make the playoffs. Because why wouldn't you let all the teams make the playoffs? Why would you? That's just going to make a delay for other teams. Just give them that extra week of matches.
yeah, yeah. At least play one series, I guess.
Yeah, because Vortex taking the number 1 spot's not going to lose to whoever's in the 12 spot.
No, no, no. It's impossible. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but really
and
anything
like
can happen in the playoffs.
And that's really true. That's something with this league is anything really can happen because with some of the lower league players, you never know what's going to happen. Somebody could just have a great day and play masters level practically, and just demolish their opponent.
Yeah.
So what about so we had a patch recently.
Yeah, we did. We
so we
did.
are.
Let's talk about the patch a little bit. What do you,
Anybody have the patch notes?
so the
Andy?
the patch changes. There was 3 major changes to the patch. The
Yeah.
first change was Widow Mines now do plus 40 damage to shields for their splash damage. The splash damage does extra damage to shields. Depending on how close you are to the initial explosion, you'll get either 40,
Yeah.
20, or 10.
Okay.
We then have the mothership core. The vision range dropped from 14 down to 9.
Mhm.
And finally, we had the Hydralisk. The Hydralisk attack speed went from 0.83 to 0.75.
Oh, so they're gonna make a comeback in TVZ.
Yeah, I definitely think, and I think you'll also see Hydras start to take a little bit of a comeback too in if Protoss goes air toss, sky toss, whatever you want to call it. Because there's the Hydralisk is still really squishy, but
Yeah,
they're shooting quite a bit faster now.
yeah, it's mad DPS, mad DPS. It's quite crazy, but I think it's the most important changes that I can see in that list. What do you think, Antipen?
Well, it's hard to say. I haven't gotten to see any games like pros play with the patch online, so I don't know really. I think the Hydralisk buff is really nice. It doesn't affect me at all as a Terran because,
Yeah.
well, if you want to make Hydralisks against the Terran, be my guest,
Well,
and I
you
will
laugh
use.
now, but people were
Yeah,
doing it at the start of HOTS. So
yeah, but it doesn't work, man. It's not. Yeah, like yeah, I'm just saying it. If you want to come at me with Hydralisk, be my guest. I will kill you. The Widowmine change, which is I guess the one that affects me the most. I guess it's good. I don't know. I could see proxy Widowmines be really good now, and Widowmine drops. But in a big army composition, I don't think I'll use Widowmines against Protoss, but it might be good if I see some pros do it in a really good way. I might adapt that, of course. But
well, yeah, it's really good, I think, because at our level, like micro is not up to par, like always. So if you want to play against mines, you have to be very careful. And most of the time, I just lose everything. So you can try that. Like if the Protoss is awkward, he's gonna die. I think. Try it.
Yeah, like
yeah,
if one thing I see with the Widow Mine is if you're playing Terran, excuse me, and you go kind of a biomine composition, if you're playing any sort of Protoss that's playing a zealot heavy composition where they're looking for the zealots to be the meat shield, the biomine composition could really do damage to that, especially if you can get mine shots off on the zealots, because they do
Yeah,
so much more damage to the zealots now that it's almost like an EMP.
yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
true that, true that.
But I am
And
really favoring the ghost. I love using ghosts in PvP, and I feel that I use them to great effect. Like ghosts are so underused in PvP, at least at lower levels. Like I just recently started using it when I hit diamond. Ghosts are so good against zealots and everything else too.
Yeah,
So
here's a question, because I'm a random player. I'm a little lower league. I do know most things about the game for little things like this, but does EMP work against buildings?
yep,
I have
I'm
actually never tried.
pretty sure you can like prevent the Terran from dropping mules with that.
Or
But
is
I don't
this
know how much energy it removes. Also, the shield on the buildings, I think. But I may be speaking through my what's the expression? Through my hat, through my head.
I'm not really sure, but
I may
guess
be saying stupid stuff.
that's
That's
okay.
what I mean.
You know
The
who's gonna
chat says it does work.
you know
Okay,
who
okay.
I
We're
trust the
all
chat.
chobos. We're all chobos.
you know who's really stupid? Vizon,
Yeah.
who just joined us, by the
I'm
way.
so sorry.
Hello,
So
man.
sorry.
Yay!
So
Ah,
we were
I like
taking
Ren.
we were taking bets on whether or not you would close the deal on your date.
Yeah.
So we
Apparently
we
she
want
didn't.
to know the details.
uh, I went. I'm sorry. I went and I tried to speed things along, but it just didn't work, man.
Oh,
Didn't
so
go so well, did it?
date wasn't
No.
going too great.
Okay, well.
Well, I mean, whenever you're like obviously being impatient, things don't go well.
So was
But
it so were you just using us as an excuse, or did you want to be out of there?
No, I wanted to be there, but I would prefer to, well, not prefer to be here, but I knew I had a commitment to be
Oh
here.
my
You know what
God,
I'm trying
yeah.
to say? But
So
You
you're
heard
saying
her.
we're more important than women?
That's awesome.
We
mm.
Esports.
I'm
Esports.
not going to answer this question. I'm not going to answer it. How about that?
esports. So
Okay, I have a small declaration, if I may say so. Antipan, did you put me on the roster for next week? Like
Did what?
you have to say yes. Like, do you
Oh
are
yeah.
you putting me on the roster for
Oh
next
yeah,
week?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay,
Against
so
Unrivaled.
so I'm taking advantage of the how do you say that? The fact that I'm on the show, Unrivaled. Uh, I don't know if you're in the chat, but send your best platinum player to me, like on Yunsu. I'll be waiting for you. I don't know who that is, but I can take anyone, so just throw it.
shots fired. You know what? Let me see.
Boom.
See?
I'm Protoss, by the way.
So I just really quickly sent a message to the captain of Team UR. I'll see if he responds. So if he,
Alrighty.
in the meantime, so Vizon, we were just talking about the patch right now, and do you recall the three major changes in the patch?
Um, okay, Hydralisk attack speed change, Widow Mines get extra damage to the shields, and reduction on Mothership Core vision range.
Yeah,
That's
good
right. That's
job.
right.
I'm so awesome.
You passed. Would you like to add anything to our discussion which you missed? What do you think about the
Okay,
changes?
I don't even know what you guys said, but I'm gonna go ahead and say Mothership vision range, absolutely needed, so happy. I don't think the Hydralisk change really changes much. Um, and I really, really like the Widowmine change as well because it maintains the current balance in TVZ with while still giving Terran a edge in TVP that they didn't have previously.
You sound like you need to catch your breath. Were you was the date
I literally ran here, dude.
was the date going for like a 3 mile run?
Uh,
Dinner and a
I
cross
live I
country
live in
race?
like the city, so it's kind of far from where I park to my apartment.
Hey,
Hmm.
Hanty Pen, let's go on a date. I'll take you to dinner and then we can run a marathon. How's that sound?
Sounds really good, man.
Awesome.
All right.
All right, so Vizon, are you of breath enough to give us the week 2 recap? Because I think we're pretty much
I can
done
give
with
this
the.
recap. I'm ready.
Let's have a
Oh
week.
yeah,
Let's have
cool.
a recap of week 2.
All right. So really quick, I'll go over the overall scores before we do the details, like same way as last week. Really quick, Team UR 3-6, Lucky 13, Stratic 7-1 Alloy, Guns N' Roaches 4-5 Vortex, Outset 3-6 CT6, Composite 4-5, All Inspiration, and Rival 4-5 Team Bear Sloss. So the first matchup on the list is UR versus Lucky 13. So one of the most interesting things about this, in my opinion, was that UR came in with their second loss of the season in the second week. So that puts them at very unexpected 0-2. But of course, they are a little weaker at the beginning of the season, as I know everyone likes to say. And there's still 9 weeks for them to redeem themselves and rise back up to the top.
Which has already been claimed by Vortex earlier in the show.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and give shout outs to Koali, however you pronounce her name, from Lucky 13. You 2-0'd Vital. Pretty sweet. And Mahavishnu is continuing to perform in the silver spot for UR. So that's pretty awesome as well. And of course, congratulations to the entire Lucky 13 squad bringing down UR.
Which is actually not that unexpected, as Lucky 13 did take down UR in the all kill show match to start the season.
That is true. They did do
Yeah, they
that.
did.
I actually
They
forgot. The next matchup was Stratic versus Alloy. So Stratic took another win which basically pushed themselves up even further than they already were. So now they're in the current third place position. That was with only week 2 scores, so I don't really know what week 3 looks like right now, if there's been any matches played thus far. But
Yeah, we don't care about week 3. It's not over.
so along with last week's win over Lucky 13, Stratic is really looking like they're going to do great this season. Unfortunately, this next loss really pushes down Alloy, and so now they're tied with Rival for last place. Not unrivaled, but Rival.
This is weird.
Um,
What's so
but
weird about it?
Well, Alloy, I mean, from the beginning, it seems like they're the team that will struggle, and Unrivaled, obviously, the rich EG type of team. So I know they're rich. So it's weird to see them both at the same place.
somebody just get the Sir Scoots picture where he's like doing the Monopoly money and Photoshop the Unrivaled logo on his face.
Oh, yes, that would be great.
That needs to happen.
So, someone's
I
going to do that
expect
now.
So I wanted to say congrats to Puppy, Alloy's player, who got them a win. And like I said last week, going 7-1, winning one match is just so immeasurably better than getting blown out.
True that.
I mean, obviously it's almost the same score-wise, but in terms of your morale, it makes such a huge difference. Because if you think,
Yeah.
wow, we didn't even win a single map, that's so depressing.
It also just gives them something to cheer for. So it's cool.
Yeah.
Good job, Bobby.
Yes, Puppy, you are awesome, and I love you. Okay. My next match was going to be Guns N' Roses versus Vortex, but I'll do that last because we have Vortex people here.
Yeah.
So,
But it was a good match, by the way. So it was so close down to the last match. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yes. The next one was Outset versus CT6. Last week I was really impressed with CT6. This week I'm really impressed with CT6 because they talked big, and I think so far they're the only. Well, I guess Lucky 13 kinda, but they're the only team so far that's talked big and then followed through on that. So they're beginning to take a firm grip on the #1 spot this season, and they have a plus 12 in map score, which is really really big. But Outset, I initially thought, I and a couple of other people actually, initially thought they were really going to do well this season, but they're kind of off to a slow start, and they're sitting in second to last place, right above Alloy and Team Rival. But I'm going to stand by my prediction. I think we'll see a mid-season turnaround out of them. I feel like their schedule has been a little difficult, and I think maybe when they get some easier teams, they'll start to pick up the wins, and hopefully that will snowball, and they'll be able to turn around their score, mostly for my ego, but also for their sakes as well. Let's see, what was next? Composite, yes, Comp versus All Inspiration. I'm going to try my hardest not to be biased. All Inspiration started off their first week with a 2-7 loss to Team Bear Sloths. That's unfortunate because the 2-7 loss is, that hurts. A 2-7 loss definitely hurts. Especially to a new team like Team Bear Sloths. No one knew how good Bear Sloths was going to be. Everyone's thinking maybe they're not that great, and you lost to them. That makes you potentially even worse. But they won a close victory against Composite, and they've recovered their position a little. And I think my initial opinion of them may have been a little too negative after just 1 week. So this match definitely turned around my opinion, for sure. And I thought they weren't going to be that much of a threat, but yeah, they've managed to win even after giving up a walkover even, which is pretty huge. I think that was a walkover. Maybe it was misreported by Liquipedia, but I think we had a walkover in the bronze-silver matchup there.
There was one walkover last week for Composite.
Yes.
Seems like
so,
it.
Sorry, Composite. I was the last one to play a match, and I didn't do too good.
Oh, it's okay. We forgive you, Corn. Oh yeah, so Comp. On the other hand, we're tied for 6th place right now. So we're sort of on the edge of falling into the bottom half. But a well-placed win can really put us back on top, or a well-placed loss could put us pretty deep in the hole. So next week is really important for Composite. Next, up is Bear Slots versus Rival. So that was actually a very close 4-5 series, making it the sixth such 4-5 series in this season, and it's only been 2 weeks. That's pretty great. Lots of close matches, not a lot of blowouts coming out. These two teams would have been tied without the walkover win that was given to Bear Slots. So that's pretty big. I mean, if that walkover had been played out, could have been completely different results. So
Jesus, yeah.
yeah, that's gotta hurt, I'm sure. But so congrats to Bear Slots, though, of course. And obviously they
Is
deserve the win
somebody's
because
cat playing with their keyboard or something? Just
I
curious.
do not own a cat, so that is not.
Anti-ban, what's going on?
I own a cat, but I'm not close to the keyboard, and the cat is neither close to the keyboard. So it's not me.
Did we wreck your train of thought, Vizon?
Oh, I was saying something. so, there was another notable thing in this match. There were actually two bronze players in the bronze-silver match for Team Bear Slots versus Team Rival Gaming. The bronze-silver match is normally two silver players, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, this is really nice. Nice.
Yeah.
We like to see that. I love seeing bronze players play. We've always strived in the Chobo Team League to have bronze players show up and play, but it's always very hard because they get promoted quick or they're just not into the game that much where they don't want to join a league. So awesome.
But these
to have
games,
bronze.
the games that they play are like sometimes the best of the best. It's really cool to watch, I think.
They are fun to watch because they defy a lot of your expectations of how things are going to go.
Yeah, they do.
So it's actually it's actually a lot of fun to watch two bronze players play. Even though you might if you can prevent yourself from being if you can prevent yourself from being too hard on them for their mistakes, it can be
Yeah.
very enjoyable.
You can be hard on diamond players. Like we have to keep in mind that we're all chobos, so like you can facepalm seeing top diamond go at it. So you're just gonna facepalm a little more often seeing bronze, but like
And
it's gonna be exciting anyway. Go ahead.
from my perspective, one thing I've always said as a caster when I'm casting matches, you never know what's going to happen in some of the lower leagues. Like you don't know if they're going to try to follow a build or if they're just going to do whatever they want. But regardless of what league you're in, if you get two players that are of fairly equal skill, the game can be great. Yeah, it might not be 200 supply at the 13-minute mark, but the game can still be great and amazing. And we've seen that in some of our bronze, silver, gold matches in CTL in the past.
Do you have games in mind? Like, I'd be really curious to see that because I haven't been in the league for long. But like, if there are like legendary games, there should be a thread about that. Would be cool.
There's a couple games that I come to mind when I think of legendary games, but we can talk about that after Vizon finishes. We'll have that be a conversation.
All right, cool. So Team Bear Sloths. Oh, the other interesting thing I was going to mention besides those two bronze players, which is again pretty cool. Team Bear Sloths has actually managed to take second place after the second week, and I don't think any one of us expected that to happen. No offense to them, but new teams, you don't expect them to, get right up there. Second place, man, that's really great. So I think they're kind of showing everyone, these new teams aren't anything to be trifled with. But Rival took their second loss of the season in that match. But 4-5, that's a lot better than 1-8. So huge upward trends, and hopefully that will continue into a win next week, win the following weeks, and they can get themselves out of that last place position. Right, so what was initially going to be the third match is now the last match. So Guns N' Roses versus Vortex. So unfortunately, Randall Thor, the amazingly named, who is my personal hero, I should mention, did not win. But overall, very, very close. Have the two walkovers been played out? I want to confirm, by the way, those were two walkovers, yes?
I believe
That is true.
So
Yes,
if those
it
two
was.
walkovers had been played out, result would have looked very different. It's not like those two walkovers didn't really change much. With a 4-5, that's huge. I think that was 4-5. Pretty sure it was. Yes, it was.
Yes, it
Okay,
is.
cool.
Yeah.
And since we have the pleasure of having Vortex Gentlemen with us tonight, what was the key to success here in Guns versus Guns N' Roses? Do you think you had any players that really performed exceptionally, really looked at something in practice, and then built that build up, and then used it to great success?
You want to go, Hunting?
Well, yeah, we had. I'm really glad Applejack actually he won his game. He was sick that day, but he still mustered up enough energy to play, and he won. That's really awesome because he was considering just giving a walkover because he was really bad, really sick. So big shout out to him. And Heat, who beat Randall Thor, he's now 2-0. So that's really awesome. And then also Spirit and Plasma in the Gold League there, doing their job. That's really cool. There's some close games, and Plasma is. It's always fun to see Plasma win because of his playstyle. So I won't say more than that.
Yeah, about Plasma, like I knew he was going up against Drunk Driver, and I know that he's like pretty established and he has to be a good Terran, right? So we actually prepared something with Plasma, and we did a little bit of coaching, and he did exactly the build that he was supposed to do. Turned out to end up working out, so that was good. Like if you can get an edge just because you especially prepared for it, so it's always good.
Cool. Is that it
Yeah.
for you, Vison?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I apparently have my mic muted. Um, that was actually it. I just wanted to get your guys' perspective on that last match. That would be the recap for week 2.
So we had the question, and we're supposed to go into week 3 preview, but whatever. So we had the question come up, and we'll just do this and go off script. Legendary matches, and I will go in reverse order, and really the reverse order is just the top 2, because to me there's 2 matches that are just a lot of fun to watch compared to all the others that I've casted. And I'm only going to speak to matches I've casted, so there may be other matches that are phenomenal in here. For low-level matches, silver, bronze level, there are 2 matches that come to mind, both from Season 4, I believe. One was Alnius versus Prophecy, and another one was Cello Wiz versus Drunk Driver. The Cello Wiz versus Drunk Driver match was incredible for, I think that was a silver matchup. It was Terran versus Terran. One of them went mech, the other went bio, and it was back and forth the entire way until I believe Cello Wiz finally came out on top. But the match was incredible. For a silver level match, it was, these guys were playing really well. Some really good positioning fights, some really good tank battles, some really good drops, from what I remember. A couple other matches, I would say Swift versus Coffee. That was a back and forth battle that was pretty good. The biggest upset that I can recall was Don Jimbo versus Corn Muscles.
What happened? What happened?
Don Jimbo at the time was a diamond level player, and Corn Muscles team composite, we had a last minute cancellation of our diamond player. So,
the power of cheese.
So I had to substitute in. I'll stop saying Corn Muscles as a third person. I'll just say I. I had to sub in, and at the time, I was in the Gold League playing as a Platinum player in CTL. So I was basically playing, it was basically Gold League versus Diamond League, and I somehow came out on top with an interesting proxy Void Ray all in a PvP.
Wow. I bow to you, gentleman Corn Muscle.
For the other 2 games, my 2 all-time favorite games to watch, though, if I had to pick 2 from CTO that again that I've watched, that I've cast, that I can remember, and I do apologize to people who have played better games than these 2 because I just remember the ones I cast a little bit more. There was a match between Fox and Guatama, which is a TVZ. Um, it was on Ohana, and the map went. I think it was like a 30-minute game. It was something ridiculous. And what happened? All I can remember at one point, Fox had a planetary fortress set up where his third would be on Ohana. Kind of off to the side. Guatama sent something like 47 banelings, just rolled them right up, took out the planetary, took out all the SCVs, just completely annihilated that base. And it was an awesome game, back and forth all the way.
Speaking of Fox, preseason, I was amazed. Like he's awesome. This guy, when he picked up his SCVs on the ramp when shit was about to hit the fan. Like
Oh,
he just hot
that
pickup and then
that
that
pickup
was so
that pickup was amazing.
yeah.
And then I unfortunately am going to mention myself again in one of my favorite games to watch, but
Jesus.
Corn Mussels versus Variux is probably the best cheese game that the Chobo Team League has ever seen. It was I was random and I rolled Terran, so it was Terran versus Protoss, and I proxied a factory, lifted the factory up, landed the factory in his base, made a reactor on said factory, and started pumping out widow mines. And was able to take down a lot of his probes, and then just went on to get a bio ball and just roll.
I like the reactor.
Yeah, it wasn't. Did you know that if you build a reactor, if you can get the reactor up and then get 2 widow mines out, you're technically only losing 10 seconds. Because it takes 10 seconds longer to build a reactor and 2 widow mines than it would take to build 2 widow mines by themselves.
Well, that's good to know.
That is actually pretty neat. I like it.
And then you make up for it with the next 2 being in, I think it's 90 total 130 total seconds instead of 160. So you're up 30 there.
You're like the cheese TLO, something like that.
So so yeah, those are a couple games. I'm not sure, Vizon, you're fairly new. Were there any games you saw that you were just really?
Well, I'm trying to think here if there were any I saw that I can't say there were any I thought were exceptional. I can say I've seen a couple that were, normal. Like you think you see a low level game, and you start thinking, okay, well this is going to be really weird. I've seen a couple that went pretty normal, and I would have, you could have seen that anywhere. I think one that I remember specifically because I was in it was me versus someone. I'm so sorry. I went Colossus. I went a pretty normal, Colossus, Stalkers, Immortals, stuff like that in PvZ. And he went Roach Hydra. This was the beginning of Season 5. And it was like a 30-minute long, pretty standard PvZ macro game. Wasn't anything really crazy like, oh, well, he made a Nidus and then there was no reaction for 12 minutes, so 3 bases died, or something stupid like that. So yeah, I guess I would mention that. There's lots of normal stuff that happens in lower leagues too. I was playing in Bronze at that time, and then I got up into Silver, and then I fell back down to Bronze because I'm good at this game.
Sweet. Awesome.
I'm trying to link in chat any of the matches that I can find VODs for right now, just so you guys have them in case you care to watch them.
Yeah, this is cool for the new people that are new to the CTL. I think if they can see, the legends, it's awesome.
So, with that, I think we've talked a little bit about week 3 and what we look forward to there. But does anybody have, any questions from the chat? I know we're on a 25-second delay here, so.
If anything, I had a question, which I posted in the chat, not in the chat, in the thread. So it goes like this. I want to know how you guys, Vizon, Corn Muscle, and Hanty Ben, how do you come up with your builds.
Oh,
Like not exactly prepare for your matches, but like the builds that you do on the ladder and every day. Like how do you come up with them?
well, um, for me, I'm a random, so I have to come up with at the very least 9 builds. Um, so one of the things I do is I break it up by race. If I'm playing Protoss, I wing it. If I'm looking for something new, I just wing it. I'm like, this sounds like a good idea. I'm going to do this, and it might be completely awful, but we'll find out, right? I'll say something like, I don't know, let's make like proxy double Stargate or something stupid like that, And then I'll be like, oh, that actually works. Or for example, I'll try, what if can I make, a proxy nexus work in a serious 1v1? And I'll see if that works. With Terran, I tend to stay on the safe side. I'll look for very um, safe all-ins, usually, is what I look for. I also look for mech games. Not very good at controlling late game bio. Much prefer to do all-ins with smaller numbers of units. Um, and with Zerg, I am the biggest life fanboy ever, as I have mentioned, so I just steal all of his builds. And that is how I get my Zerg builds.
Sweet.
So
Yes.
for me, I just try to pay attention enough to current meta to know roughly what's going on, and then I try to do builds that seem like it meets what the criteria of the build should be, and just wing it. So if I hear of a 14-14 for Zerg, then I just try to do a 14-14 and try to figure out what it's supposed to be. And sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, but I just try to have fun with the game. Occasionally, I cheese a lot, so a lot of cannon rushes, proxy 2 gates, 999 as Terran, all the fun stuff.
Do you have a cheese build order notebook, something like that, like the secret corn muscle stash?
It's my brain. I do have,
It's your brain.
yeah, I have one build that I don't see many people do for cheesing, which is it's a cannon proxy gate build where it's useful PVT, especially in the lower leagues. And what you'll do is you'll start making a cannon rush, but instead of building a second cannon, you'll build a proxy gateway, and you'll use a zealot you get out of there to kind of give sight to the wall of the Terran player.
That's
Cool.
interesting.
Yes.
As a Terran player, I find that interesting.
So
As a human being, I'm outraged. But yeah.
the zealot gives you it's a lot more beefy than the probe that you would have down there. So,
Yeah.
so what about you, Hanty Pen?
Well, I don't do builds at all. I just play the game, just do random stuff. I have a goal to get units and win, so I just build stuff. My philosophy behind that is that if I'm not good enough to get out of diamond without winning because of build orders, then I'm not good enough to play in masters anyway. So I just wanted to play the game normally, do shit just have good macro and decent micro, and that should win me the game. And when that's good enough, if I one beautiful day gets into masters, then I'll start worrying about builds.
Oh, cool.
And Heat, what about you?
Yeah, I'm exactly the opposite because I do the same build almost every game. Like I settle on one thing and I just grind it out and learn it by heart. Just because I'm such an awkward player, and I don't want to like forget violence and stuff like that. And if I am not familiar with the build, I'm gonna die real quick. So I want to know it inside and out. And I still like lose a lot, and I'm platinum, but yeah, I know my builds. But how do I come up with them? Like I try to steal them, maybe. Some I invent. It depends. But yeah, I'm a huge supporter of mono build, just one. That's how I roll.
So we did have one question which we'll bring forward here. Heat, what do you think of Thomas Vanek?
Oh God, yeah. He's just insisting on that. Yeah, but he finally told me that He got traded to the Montreal Canadiens or something like that. But I don't watch hockey anymore because I play StarCraft. Like it ended like that when StarCraft came. So like I was actually watching every hockey game from the Montreal Canadiens, and then I stopped because it's not as cool as esports. So yeah, Vanek, but he's not a French Canadian like he thinks he is. So I don't care. Like exactly,
Nice.
I don't
So
know.
so who's the best goalie in hockey
Oh, the best goalie in
all
hockey,
time?
Martin Brodeur. No, Patrick Roy. Patrick Roy.
Okay, I'll agree with you.
Yeah.
Current coach of the Colorado Avalanche.
Oh, yeah, Patrick Roy. Is he?
Yes, yeah, he is. He just took over this year.
Nice.
Surprisingly, their goaltending is much better this year than it was last year.
Oh, yeah, makes
Who
sense.
who would have thought by having the best goalie of all time being your coach would improve your goaltending?
Yeah, and also a guy who was like in the minor leagues, so he kind of knows how to, teach stuff, I guess. He's a pretty weird guy, though. He's known as being
Yeah,
really,
he's a bit out there.
he's cocky and aggressive and stuff.
So that about wraps up the time we have for our show today. So thank you very much, Antipen and Heat, for coming on, especially Heat being such a last minute replacement.
Thanks for
Anything
having me.
anything you guys would like to say in closing? Would you like to promote Vortex Esports or anything at all?
Like, yeah, I want to thank my team and my players for being awesome. Like showing up for practice, doing their job, messaging their players they're going to play against, just generally being really awesome, and I can count on them to do their job. So I'm grateful for my team.
Thanks.
And what about Heat? Anything you'd like to say last minute? Saying goodbye?
Um, just like was totally excited to be on today because I'm a huge fan of state of the game, inside the game, stuff like that. I watch like a lot of that, so it was kind of cool to be on. And yeah, Vortex is awesome, and I can't wait for Unrivaled. Team Bear Slots are not to be underestimated, but can't wait.
Vizon, you were late to the program,
Yes.
but would you like to say any closing
Hmm.
remarks out of you?
Well, as I just said in chat, Bear Sloths represent. I have taken them on as my second favorite team, after Composite, of course. So maybe because I want to be contrarian to these gentlemen here. And so I also love their name. So also I think they are the only team without a logo still. So yeah, I love you guys. That is my closing remark. That Bear Sloths, you are the best people on earth.
And in closing, from me, another fun time on the show, another fun time having great guests with Hanty Pen and Heat. Thank you guys very much for coming on. Vizon Kai, I know you were a little bit late, so thank you as well for being a reliable co-host. And I would just like to address a question that came up in chat. The CTL Dream Team Captain Bronze and all that player. Loved the question, but I want to kind of save that for some guests that have been around the CTL a little bit longer. So maybe we'll get some old school names like Degen and or even going as far back as like Descendi and Wing Zero. So that does it for the show tonight. Once again, my name is Corn Muscles. With me has been Vizon Kai with our special guests Hanty Pen and Heat. So that's our show. And this week on the scale of cheese, 6-pool to 2-pool gate proxy, we'll give this one the Cannon Rush 1-gate proxy that Corn does every once in a while. Have a great night, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye, guys.